Hello and welcome to day 34 of the Not Alone Today chronological Bible reading plan with Joseph and Anu. Today we are in Leviticus chapters 16 to 18 using the New King James Version.
Chapter 16. Now the Lord spoke to Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron, when they offered profane fire before the Lord and died. And the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron your brother not to come at just any time into the holy place inside the veil, before the mercy seat, which is on the ark, lest he die. For I will appear in the cloud above the mercy seat."
Thus Aaron shall come into the holy place with the blood of a young bull as a sin offering, and of a ram as a burnt offering. He shall put the holy linen, tunic, and the linen trousers on his body. He shall be girded with a linen sash, and with the linen turban he shall be attired. These are holy garments, therefore he shall wash his body in water, and put them on. And he shall take from the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as a burnt offering.
Aaron shall offer the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. He shall take 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then Aaron shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for the Lord, and the other lot for the scapegoats. And Aaron shall bring the goat on which the Lord's lot fell, and offer it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot fell to be the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord, to make atonement upon it, and to let it go as a scapegoat into the wilderness.
And Aaron shall bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall kill the bull as the sin offering which is for himself. Then he shall take a censer full of burning coals of fire from the altar before the Lord, with his hands full of sweet incense beaten fine, and bring it inside the veil. And he shall put the incense on the fire before the Lord, that the cloud of incense may cover the mercy seat that is on the testimony, lest he die. He shall take some of the blood of the bull and sprinkle it with his finger on the mercy seat on the east side. And before the mercy seat he shall sprinkle some of the blood with his finger 7 times.
Then he shall kill the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, bring its blood inside the veil, do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. Then he shall make atonement for the holy place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions, for all their sins. And so he shall do for the tabernacle of meeting, which remains among them in the midst of their uncleanness. There shall be no man in the tabernacle of meeting when he goes in to make atonement in the holy place until he comes out, that he may make atonement for himself, for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. And he shall go out to the altar that is before the Lord and make atonement for it, and shall take some of the blood of the bull and some of the blood of the goats, and put it on the horns of the altar all around. Then he shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, cleanse it and consecrate it from the uncleanness of the children of Israel.
And when he has made an end of atoning for the holy place, the tabernacle of meeting, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, confess over it all the iniquities of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions concerning all their sins, putting them on the head of the goat, and shall send it away into the wilderness by the hand of a suitable man. The goat shall bear on itself all their iniquities to an uninhabited land, and he shall release the goat in the wilderness.
Then Aaron shall come into the tabernacle of meeting, shall take off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the holy place, and shall leave them there. And he shall wash his body with water in a holy place, put on his garments, come out and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people. The fat of the sin offering he shall burn on the altar, and he shall release the goat, and he who released the goat as the scapegoat shall wash his clothes and bathe in his body in water. and afterward he may come into the camp. The bull for the sin offering and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the holy place, shall be carried outside the camp. And they shall burn in the fire their skins, their flesh, and their offal. Then he who burns them shall wash his clothes and bathe his body in water, and afterward he may come into the camp.
This shall be a statute forever for you. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether a native of your country or a stranger who dwells among you. For on that day the priest shall make atonement for you, to cleanse you, that you may be clean from all your sins before the Lord. It is a Sabbath of solemn rest for you, and you shall afflict your souls. It is a statute forever. And the priest who is anointed and consecrated to minister as priest in his father's place shall make atonement and put on the linen clothes, the holy garments. Then he shall make atonement for the holy sanctuary, and he shall make atonement for the tabernacle of meeting and for the altar. And he shall make atonement for the priests and for all the people of the assembly. This shall be an everlasting statute for you, to make atonement for the children of Israel, for all their sins once a year. And he did as the Lord commanded Moses.
Chapter 17. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron, to his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, This is the thing which the Lord has commanded, saying, Whatever man of the house of Israel who kills an ox, or lamb, or goat in the camp, or who kills it outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, to offer an offering to the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, the guilt of the bloodshed shall be imputed to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, to the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices, which they offer in the open field, that they may bring them to the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, to the priest, and offer them as peace offerings to the Lord. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and burn the fat for a sweet aroma to the Lord. They shall no more offer sacrifices to demons, after whom they have played the harlot. This shall be a statute forever for them throughout their generations.
Also you shall say to them, Whatever man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who dwell among you, who offers a burnt offering or sacrifice, and does not bring it to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, to offer it to the Lord, that man shall be cut off from among his people.
And whatever man of the house of Israel, or the strangers who dwell among you, who eats any blood, I will set my face against that person who eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the soul. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, No one among you shall eat blood, nor shall any stranger who dwells among you eat blood.
Whatever man of the children of Israel or of the strangers who dwell among you, who hunts and catches any animal or bird that may be eaten, he shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust, for it is the life of all flesh. Its blood sustains its life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, You shall not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Whoever eats it shall be cut off.
And every person who eats what died naturally, or what was torn by beasts, whether he is a native of your country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. But if he does not wash them or bathe his body, then he shall bear his guilt.
Chapter 18. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, I am the Lord your God. According to the doings of the land of Egypt where you dwelt, you shall not do. And according to the doings of the land of Canaan where I am bringing you, you shall not do. Nor shall you walk in their ordinances. You shall observe my judgments and keep my ordinances to walk in them. I am the Lord your God. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man does, he shall live by them. I am the Lord.
None of you shall approach anyone who is near of kin to him to uncover his nakedness. I am the Lord. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother you shall not uncover. She is your mother, you shall not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife you shall not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or elsewhere, their nakedness you shall not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter, or your daughter's daughter, their nakedness you shall not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, begotten by your father, she is your sister, you shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister, she is near of kin to your father. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, for she is near of kin to your mother. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. You shall not approach his wife, she is your aunt. She is your aunt. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law, she is your son's wife. You shall not uncover her nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife, it is your brother's nakedness. You shall not uncover the nakedness of a woman or her daughter, nor shall you take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are near of kin to her, it is wickedness. Nor shall you take a woman as a rival to her sister to uncover her nakedness while the other is alive.
Also, you shall not approach a woman to cover her nakedness as long as she is in her customary impurity. Moreover, you shall not lie carnally with your neighbor's wife to defile yourself with her. And you shall not let any of your descendants pass through the fire to Molech, nor shall you profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman, it is an abomination. Nor shall you mate with any animal to defile yourself with it. Nor shall any woman stand before an animal to mate with it. It is perversion.
Do not defile yourselves with any of these things, for by all this the nations are defiled, which I am casting out before you. For the land is defiled. Therefore I visit the punishment of its iniquity upon it, and the land vomits out its inhabitants. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, either any of your own nation, or any stranger who dwells among you. For all these abominations the men of the land have done, who were before you, and thus the land is defiled, lest the land vomit you out also when you defile it, as it vomited out the nations that were before you. For whoever commits any of these abominations, the person who commits them shall be cut off from among their people.
Therefore you shall keep my ordinance, so that you do not commit any of these abominable customs, which were committed before you, and that you do not defile yourselves by them. I am the Lord your God. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
Another interesting read as we forge on in the book of Leviticus. By way of quick recap, chapter 16 talks of the Day of Atonement, and then chapter 17 is about blood, the sanctity of blood, and chapter 18 is about laws of sexual morality, the people that you should not uncover their nakedness. So what stood out to you in chapter 16?
I think it's the scapegoat one that stood out to me.
Yeah.
And now that for the first time, like, I'm not sure if this is correct, but since we started reading Leviticus, where there's a laying of hand on the head of the animal, it's usually one hand. They will say you use one hand to touch the horn or something like that. But this time, Aaron laid in chapter 16, verse 21, Aaron laid both hands on the head of the goat and then confessed all the iniquities of the children of Israel, all their transgressions, their sins, putting it on the head of the goat. And then it was released into the wilderness. And I found that to be really peculiar.
Yeah, for me as well, that's striking. That was striking, the whole concept of course, this is the one time in the year when the high priest gets to go into the Holy of Holies to make this special atonement on behalf of the nation. So not only just on behalf of the priest or some individual. So the cases we've seen before is usually when you are coming to make atonement for your own sin, and it's the person that is bringing the sacrifice that lays their hand on the animal and things like that. But in this case, Aaron, has the high priest and the representative of all of God's people, is more or less in that symbolic act transferring all the sins of God's people to that particular scapegoat that is then taken away into the wilderness and released as a symbolic way of saying he has carried their sins away. So Jesus kind of fulfills both the two kind of goats, the one that is sacrificed for the sin of the people as a sin offering, and the scapegoat that is released to carry away the sins in that sense. So in what John said, was it John 1, that behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. So it was both the lamb that will be sacrificed for sin offering, and also in some sense the scapegoat that actually carries away our sin far away from us, as the east is from the west, Bible says, as he taking our iniquities away from us. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful picture.
Yes. You know, when you said this is the first time in the year, the only time that Aaron needs to go, goes to the holies of holy.
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
I mean, it's going to eventually come up again and again. The 10th.
It wasn't mentioned here.
I don't think it was specifically mentioned here, no. But the 10th day of the 7th month, and they still, I mean, Jews still celebrate it till today as Yom Kippur.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the one of the 7 festivals that God initiated for the people. It's a very striking one, basically, and yeah.
And I know King James called it the holy place, but it means the holies of holy.
Yes.
I see. I missed that part.
In the language of the we're still in the days of the tabernacle, or the tent of meeting. Eventually, this is going to become the temple.
Right.
In the days of Solomon.
Okay.
And so when it becomes that physical temple, that's when that language of Holy of Holies becomes more pronounced.
Right.
But as of now, we are still operating in the days of the tent.
Right.
That is very mobile. Up until the time when eventually this is going to be a physical location that's, just the same way Muslims will pray facing Mecca. Jews will pray facing the direction of where they believe the temple is in Jerusalem. For them to believe the prayers are answered in that sense, yeah.
One last thing that stood out to me in chapter 16 was also that after the scapegoat has been taken into the wilderness, the person that took it into the wilderness and Aaron that touched his head would then have to cleanse themselves.
Indeed, yeah.
And it reads to me like the goat would have carried like proper things. Like for just leading the goat into the wilderness, you have to go through cleansing.
Yeah, because it's no longer just the goat.
It's not the scapegoat.
It's not longer just the goat. It's the vehicle that contains all their sins.
I may be hesitant to ask, like, what happened to the goat? I want to call the goat the poor goat, but I'm not sure if it's right to say that.
Yeah, that the goat has been. You remember they cast lots to select this goat. Yeah, so the goat has been destined to perish in the wilderness.
Or it would die.
Of course, like the idea is you will never see it again. And in not seeing it again, then those sins are indeed taken away. In my mind, I'm also asking myself, what if it's such a stubborn goat that actually finds its way back
to the camp?
Because, I mean, we used to rear goats when I was little. And sometimes, not very many times, you will have stray goats come into your own compound and come and eat things that you are trying to dry in the sun or whatever. And there have been cases where we'll take those stray goats far away. You literally carry them and walk many, many kilometers away from our house and drop them somewhere, only to get back and the next morning you find the same goats.
Wow.
Back in your compound, coming to look for cassava that you are trying to dry in the sun to eat or whatever. So yeah, but I mean, I don't know. The idea here is you take it far into the wilderness. And
no, God said you should go into the wilderness. You're not meant to kill it.
There's the one to kill. There's the other one to take away to the wilderness and just let it go. Yeah.
That's
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a beautiful picture. I think, the application points to then just to reiterate is the fact that we do not need to do this again. In light of the fact that all of these are shadows pointing to the ultimate Lamb of God, and in some sense, scapegoat that has carried away the sins of the world, carried away the death, carried away the sickness, carried away all of those things that are not found in the life of God.
In chapter 17, verse 7 stood out to me.
Okay.
And Kola, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm reading too much into it. Where God said, they shall no more offer their sacrifices to demons, after whom they have played the harlot. Does that not infer that all this ritual won't be so strange to the Israelites, because somehow they've been doing similar things and God is just trying to restructure what's familiar to them to create a new order? Because if he's saying that they shall no more offer sacrifices to God, to demons, that means when God said sprinkle blood, do all of those things, it won't be something strange to them.
Absolutely.
Could it be read that way?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, all of this kind of sacrifices, atonement, doing all these things is common in the worship of gods around them. The whole idea of God choosing this nation is to then begin to teach the rest of the world, nations around, as they are called often in the Old Testament, to see both to appreciate the holiness of God. Of course, in all of these other religions, you are not sacrificing directly to God. You are sacrificing to divinities and deities that are intermediaries between men and God. But God is saying, I have direct relationship with you, and I don't want you going to do anything to any other person. Let's worship me. Let's be in relationship directly one to another. Yeah.
And I think what you said about the other nations ties up with what God was saying out that in verse 24, chapter 18, I think. 24 to 25, where God was saying that the land is defiled and it would vomit out its inhabitants. But the Israelites should take care not to do the same abominations as they did, or they will be vomited out. So it ties up with your explanation on how that God is trying to form what God is doing with Israel, the Israelites, also applies to the other nations as a new order of worship.
Yeah, absolutely. The promise to Abraham is that through his seed, all of the nations of the earth shall be blessed, which is, of course, fulfilled in our day because of the unifying work of the universal extent to the sacrifice of Jesus, bringing together not only Jews but Gentiles to worship this God. So that's the end goal. That's where all of this is building onto. And I think in that sense, it's also is instructive for places where, when missionaries came to most part of Africa, the idea of their coming is to divorce the people from their culture and impose their own culture on them. Like, to be a Christian is to be some form of European. Change your name to a European name, take on our language, take on our culture as much as is realistically possible. But really, even in the pre-existing ways of worship, in all of those traditional religion, just as the same context of the Israelites in all of the surrounding nations, people are already worshiping God in some sense, with all these sort of frameworks. It's to turn what is already there towards Christ and make them see these are the continuities, these are the discontinuities. These are not to say that your heritage and everything that has shaped your identity, you need to totally be cut off from them. You can be Christian and Yoruba at the same time. You don't have to be something else to become a Christian. You can be Christian and Ghanaian. You can be Christian and Akan and Shona or any other ethnicity. You don't have to stop being your ethnic self in terms of your identity to be a Christian. There are enough continuities to turn what is already there towards Christ and say, okay, this is now the light. This is how we have thought of, how God has revealed himself prior to now. But now that we know the truth, it's all about Jesus. Okay, so let's put Jesus in the center and direct all of our worship to God through him in that sense. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Any other aspect of chapter 18 that stood out to you?
I like how the New King James Version says uncover nakedness. Could you tell us what uncovering nakedness means,
What
please?
do you think it means?
It means have sex, isn't it?
Simple, yeah.
So why is it not stated that way?
Because they are transliterating sort of word for word. The word that is also the phrases that are used in the Hebrew sounds pretty much like uncover nakedness, but we know in contemporary terms what that means. So it's sex, simple.
But most of the readers or listeners may not know. I want to see what other versions are. So for the NIV actually said sexual relations. So I'm just saying that someone listening that hasn't read other versions might not understand why would anyone be punished, or why would it's not even appropriate to even cover your relatives' nakedness anyway. Just wanted to point that out.
Fair point. The other thing to actually then spotlight from there is this is the point where it's becoming legal. Of course, Leviticus, we've said, is their law book. This is where it's becoming legalized to know that you can't have sexual relations with people that are closely related to you.
Near of kin.
Yeah, so someone like Abraham wouldn't have married Sarah if he was living in this era, because that would have been ungodly to marry your half-sister, because you are still very much related. I've heard schools of thought about the fact that even in genetics, there is a lot of biological complications that can happen when people are having incestuous relationship. And
why?
Yeah, like that's when you tend to have all sorts of kids with deformities and things like that.
Really? Is it scientifically proven?
Yeah, there's a scientific backing for that.
Oh, wow.
So again, that's also part of the wisdom of God when we look at how God is giving all these instructions, that it is only centuries later that our knowledge of biology or philosophy or this or that or law or geography is catching up, as it were, to what God has already instituted simply as an ordinance for them. So yeah, it does make a lot of sense. Yeah, any other concluding thoughts?
None, nothing for me.
Okay. So thank you for joining us for day 34. We turned the page on day 35 to consider holiness in everyday life as we look at chapters 19 to 22. But till then, just remember, you're not alone
Today.
God bless you.
God bless you.